Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, as the summer transfer window continues. This right here is a video that I've been waiting to do for quite a while, because on your average day of covering, Barcelona news, we are linked with so many different players, so many different sources, and of course, not all of those rumours, for me, are newsworthy. I don't necessarily bring every single rumour to the table because some of them simply are not worth our time. But with so many different players linked, there are many of you out there wondering, could this happen? Could this happen? Could this happen? So in today's video, we are going to be breaking down, in quick fire fashion, 14 different transfer rumours and ranking their likelihood of them joining Barça this summer. The rankings there are going to be between 0 and 5. 0, of course, meaning no chance at all of joining, and 5, meaning they're basically already in a Barça shirt. It's all coming up, so let's get into it. Let's do it! But if we kick off, first of all, in Serie A with Lorenzo Pellegrini, the Roma midfielder, 24 years old that he is now, still quite a young player, even though he seems to have been around for quite a few years. He has been growing. I think certainly now in Rome, he has become a very key player in their team. But why this deal is potentially interesting for those parties involved, which Barca have been linked, also Liverpool are apparently in the running. His contract expires in 2022. Of course, Mourinho, I'm sure, will be very, very keen to get Pellegrini there to agree to a new long-term deal. But Barca, for me, I don't really see us going down the Pellegrini route this summer. I'm going to rate this rumour 1 out of 5. Unlikely, in my opinion. We stay, though, in Serie A for our next rumour, which this time is a centre-back in ALESSIO Romagnoli, the AC Milan centre-back there, 26 years old. And the interesting part about this is that it's not the only time that we've been linked with Romagnoli. It often seems to be a rumour that just sort of crops up in the transfer window, but it always seems to appear when the sort of news outlets are getting a bit short there on rumours. They pluck Romagnoli's name out of somewhere, and although, again, his contract does expire next summer in 2022, and towards the end of the season, he did sort of lose his place in the Milan team to the partnership of Tomori and Kier. So maybe Milan would be open to letting him go if he doesn't agree that new deal. But like with Pellegrini, I don't really see us going down this road. 1 out of 5 for me. Again, it's unlikely. Another centre-back is up next. We're going to talk about Lisandro Martinez of Ajax. We have spoken about this young man already this summer. 23 years old. Very, very impressive player, I feel, coming off the back of an excellent season there at Ajax. Very good on the ball and very tenacious as well in his defending. Currently is with the Argentinian national team at Copa America, although right now he continues to be ignored by Lionel Scaloni. He'd probably be one of the more cheaper options this summer if we did want to go out and buy another centre-back along with the incoming Eric Garcia, and for that reason, I think he's more likely than the likes of Romagnoli and many of the players that we are going to talk about today, but still, I don't really see enough right now, enough traction on this rumour to give it anything above a 2 out of 5, but it is one to keep an eye on. Then there is indeed a player that we know very, very well from his time in La Liga. Pau Torres, currently playing his football at Villarreal, and of course right now he's also with the Spanish national team, still only 24 years old, but the potential obstacle when it comes to this deal would be the fact that he has a 60 million euro release clause, and he's also quite attached as well to Villarreal too, but potentially, of course, they could accept a lower offer than that. But for that sort of price tag and the fact this summer we are lacking in the financial department, again, I wouldn't give this anything above a 2 out of 5. I think certainly Pau Torres is on our radar. He's a very good centre-back, but I really don't think right now, at least, that we could afford this kind of deal. Up next is a player that many of you are wondering about when it comes to Barca this summer and the start of the many, many players that we have been linked to from Manchester City. We want to start here with Aymeric Laporte, of course, the centre-back there, 27 years old that he is now. And I do believe there is a bit of truth in Barca's interest in Laporte, and I do also believe that he would be interested in leaving Man City this summer. After last season, he didn't really get the kind of game time that he was looking for. But the only problem, again, it would be that price tag. Laporte would not be cheap from Man City. Potentially, there could be player exchanges, things like that involved, but apparently City aren't too keen on those sort of exchanges. So for that reason, the deal may be difficult. But I can certainly see this rumour continuing, and I'm going to go actually with the highest rating so far, 3 out of 5. It's still by no means going to be done. It's still going to be very, very difficult. But Laporte to Barca, it is more believable than many of the others that we will discuss. The next Man City player off the conveyor belt appears to be João Cancelo, of course, the right back there, who had a very, very good season. I feel he can also play at left back there as well, 27 years old now, and much in the same way of many of these players. Not the first time that we've been linked to Cancelo. We were linked with him during his time at Valencia, then again at Juventus, and now indeed again whilst he's been with Man City. And I was quite surprised actually that Cancelo was left out there for the Champions League final, because like I say, he had been really, really good under Guardiola during the season, and I don't really see why this name is cropping up with Barca right now. We've got Serginho Dest, we've got Emerson at right back. Do we really need to add another right back to that? I would say absolutely not. And for that reason, I am going to rank this one 1 out of 5. I'd be very, very surprised if Cancelo ended up at Barca this summer. The next Man City player happens to be Bernardo Silva, 26-year-old winger who of course has played a little bit more central as well in a midfield position under Pep Guardiola. Again, he's one of those City players that are coming off the back of a season where maybe he didn't get as much game time as he would have liked. Maybe his presence and his influence in that Man City team wasn't what it used to be, and certainly right now there are options for him to leave this summer. Atletico apparently are also very, very interested in Bernardo Silva. Right now, of course, he's with the Portuguese national team, but I don't really feel as though Barca, this is a deal again that we are going to go down. We don't really need a player, I feel right now, like Bernardo Silva. We have plenty of forwards at Barca, in midfield as well. Of course, we're looking for somebody, but in a different profile to Bernardo. So for me, again, 1 out of 5. It's another Man City link, which for me doesn't seem to make all that much sense. We stay in Manchester though. Riyad Mahrez is the next man who has received links to Barcelona. 30 years old now he is, but again, he's somebody coming off the back of a good season at Man City. He scored some really, really key goals on their way to reaching the Champions League final, but again, I just don't see it. I do not see the need here to bring in somebody like Riyad Mahrez. Big wages, probably big transfer fee, not much resale value either. I'm actually going to say here, this one is going to be 0 out of 5. No chance at all I see here of Riyad Mahrez coming to Barcelona, and I would say exactly the same thing for the final Man City player that we are going to discuss, Raheem Sterling. Rather a lot of links actually appeared linking Sterling to Barcelona. He, of course, scored England's first goal of the Euros against Croatia very, very recently. Apparently, he's not too happy right now with his situation at City, but for me, no chance at all of coming to Barca. We're not an option for him. 0 out of 5. Then we move on to somebody maybe more likely to come, but that doesn't exactly say too much given the players that we have discussed so far. I want to talk here about Fabian Ruiz of Napoli, 25 years old, of course, midfielder, and again, somebody who we followed during his time at Betis. We've been repeatedly linked with him since he's gone to Napoli. He's done very, very well over there in Serie A. He's currently, of course, with Spain at Euro 2020, and interestingly as well with him, his contract expires not next summer, but the summer after that in 2023. He's not all that far away if he wasn't going to sign a renewal. And of course, we do know that Koeman wants a midfielder, and he does sort of fit the profile to what we would like to bring in if possible. But again, the fee would be an issue with Napoli. Maybe they would be interested in somebody like Junior Firpo, maybe some sort of swap plus cash deal if we did want to go down the Fabian Ruiz road. But I still do feel probably unlikely. 2 out of 5. I wouldn't rule it out, but just right now, there's not enough substance to these rumours. Now we are getting on though to some of the big names, the big hitters. Let's kick off with Matthijs de Ligt, certainly somebody who Barcelona fans have dreamed about having at the centre of our defence. And like I said before, I think certainly de Ligt would be open in the future to a move to Barcelona. He has gone to Juve and done well, but I do believe in the future he will definitely become an option. But this summer, I'm sorry guys, I've got to say nothing. 0 out of 5 for me. No chance at all of signing de Ligt this summer. Hopefully as the time goes on, maybe that will change. Maybe our situation financially will change. Maybe his situation at Juve will change. But this summer, absolutely no chance. And of course, I want to discuss another Mino Raiola client, this time Erling Haaland. Because obviously, starting the summer, we all thought, there's going to be a big bidding war. Maybe Barcelona would somehow scrap together some of the money to sign Erling Haaland, but that certainly has not materialised. The only real link right now with Haaland is him going to Chelsea. I personally don't really see that happening. Yes, they do have the money. Yes, maybe he might be a bit tempted by the Premier League, but I think he's going to wait. I think he's certainly going to have a look out there to the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid. He will want that kind of interest in him. And for that reason, I think this summer, no chance. 0 out of 5 for me when it comes to Haaland. But if he can stay one more year at Dortmund, one more year there in the Bundesliga, biding his time, next summer, if that release clause kicks in, if he stays there that long, that is going to be an absolutely mental summer there with Haaland available for a decent fee, so definitely watch this space. And speaking of forwards, LAUTARO Martinez, he is the penultimate player here on the list, a player again that we have been repeatedly linked to in the past, still only 23 years old, hasn't enjoyed his finest time so far at Copa America, missing a number of chances there in Argentina's opening game against Chile. But it is interesting regarding LAUTARO because apparently right now his contract situation, it is a bit uncertain. His contract expires in 2023, again, not all that far away, and potentially there he could become available if he does continue to refuse to sign a renewal at Inter. But again, this summer, no chance of LAUTARO, and it's not really a road that I think either we should be going down. 0 out of 5. Last but not least though, guys, we have one more forward on the agenda and we stay in La Liga for this one. It is Alexander Isak, a player that I really do like, I've got to say. Of course, playing his football in the league at Real Sociedad, 21 years old, very young still plenty more room for him to improve over the coming years. And I think you've got to watch his performance there against Spain at the Euros. Sweden, starved of the ball, starved of chances, but when he had opportunities there, in and around the Spain penalty area, bodies around him, Laporte, Torres closing him down, but he managed to make something happen. He's got incredibly good close control. That's a really underrated part of his game. He hit the post there, very unlucky, and created another huge chance, which Berg missed. So I think Isak is certainly a player to keep your eye on this season. 17 goals in La Liga. Like I say, still very young indeed. This summer, I would say 0 out of 5. I don't see this happening. This summer, you would certainly cost too much money, and Dortmund also do have an option if they wanted to bring him back to the club, although things there for him didn't really go all that well. That relationship is not all that great, but I think certainly looking to the future, Isak is on our radar. We know that we're tracking him. We got lots of scouting reports on Isak, and it'll be very interesting to see what he can do again next season and whether the goals continue to flow for the Swede. So those right there, guys, were a number of transfer rumours that we have heard when it comes to Barcelona. Like I say, there are many rumours that happen every single day, but just because a player is linked to the club, it doesn't necessarily mean there is real substance behind it, and we sort of highlighted that today in this video. Of course, things can change. We'll have to wait and see. There's plenty more time to go in this transfer window, but let's wait and see what the club's plans are, and of course, our real priority right now, it's not actually to do with signings, but more about easing that wage bill and getting some players out of the door. Let me know your thoughts on all of the players that we have discussed in today's video. Which of these players would you like to see at Barca? Are there any here that you really think might happen this summer? I will be seeing you soon, of course, with plenty more to come. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça!